it's Mr. Tappin again, and I'm the head of Year 7 for next year. Some of you may have already seen me in a couple of the different transition photos or the transition videos that have been on our website, or you might have met me at the uniform evening the other night at the Chalk Hills Academy. Now this video today is here to talk to you about frequently asked questions. Basically any questions you might have, or I think you might have had, about coming to the Chalk Hills Academy. I've tried to put together in a quick video to answer them, to make sure you know as much as you can about your experience and your time and how it will look like at the Chalk Hills Academy. Will I get lost? So at the Chalk Hills Academy we have a very big school. However, it is a big square with a hole in the middle, if you like. There's 3 floors, the ground floor, the first floor and the second floor, and they all go around in a square shape. So if you are getting lost, make sure you get to the right floor, and on your timetable you'll be able to do this by going to G, which is the ground floor, going to F, which is the first floor, or going to S, which is the second floor. Once you're on the right floor, they are numbered in order in a square shape, from 1 all the way round to 32, I think it is. So if you make sure you're on the right floor and you keep walking in that square shape, you'll make sure you find that right room. If you do get lost, you do find you're in the wrong place, on every corner of every floor we have staff wearing high-vis jackets that can direct you in the right direction, or alternatively any other staff member who also might be moving between rooms around the school. So ask any teacher, even ask other students, they're going to be happy enough to help you, and they'll help you get to the right place. Will you get lots of homework? Well, you'll only get 1 piece of homework per subject per week. For example, for maths you might get a piece of homework, for English, for science, and so on and so forth. So if you have about 10 or 11 different subjects a week, you might get 10 or 11 different bits of homework a week. But each piece of homework will normally take no more than half an hour. So if you sort of equate that to an hour an evening, that's 2 pieces of homework, 5 days, that's 10 pieces of homework done in a week just by putting an hour aside after school. So it isn't a lot. It does sound like loads when you go, you've got 10 bits of homework, but I promise you it isn't overwhelming and it is definitely manageable. Will you get lots of detentions? That all depends on how you decide to behave and how you decide to conduct yourselves around our school. If you behave well and do the things we expect, you won't get any detentions. If you decide to make some poor decisions and decide to behave in a poor manner, then of course there will be detentions put in place. Now why do we put detentions in place? We don't put them in just to waste your time, we put them in as a consequence of your bad behaviour, and the idea is that you learn from your mistakes and you improve your behaviour, which therefore will improve your learning. Are there many clubs I can take part in? Well, at the Chalk Hills Academy we're very lucky to have clubs for pretty much every single subject in the school. Now, I can't go through them all because I simply haven't got the time and I'll be here all day talking about it, but if I go through a couple, the most popular one in school is the Science Club, which is called Rocket Club. Now this club is where you get to do lots of different practical experiments, lots of practical things, and do all sorts of different things with Miss Dautovich, and it is one of the most popular clubs in school because of the cool factor, if you like. There's lots of different things you can do that really do wow other teachers around the school. My personal favourite was when they used a type of gas, and obviously safely, of course. It sounds a bit extreme. They put the flames, it looks like you've got fire coming from your hands, and that's pretty cool if you ask me. Also, we've got PE clubs. Being a PE teacher, I'm obviously going to mention that. So we've got all different sports going from football to basketball to futsal to cricket to dance to gymnastics. The dance is actually run separately through the Performing Arts Department. They do dance club and they do dance shows. And again, all other different subjects do different clubs as well. What's the school food like? Well, all the food at the Chalk Hills Academy is prepared freshly in our school kitchen. It isn't ordered in and sort of brought in on the back of a lorry in bulk. It is made in the school, and it is made freshly. Now at break time you've got lots of nice options such as sugar waffles, my personal favourite, a cheese and bacon bagel, along with other sandwiches and different types of snacks such as cookies, biscuits, fruit as well. When you get to lunchtime you've got a vegetarian option, you've got a meat option, and you've also got a salad option, along with the option to get sandwiches and baguettes and other types of things. There's loads of different choices. There's likely to be a piece of food that everybody is going to like, whether that be hot food, cold food, it doesn't really matter. And a lot of our food also is halal, which caters for obviously different religions that we have in our school, because we have such a diverse community at the Chalk Hills Academy. How long is break and lunch? Break is just 15 minutes and lunch is just 35 minutes. Now you might be thinking that's quite short, but if those times were longer, your finish to the school day would be a lot later. At Chalk Hills we finish at 3 o'clock, whereas if it's a longer lunch and a longer break, that might not be until 3:30. How is bullying dealt with? Well, if you are ever bullied in the school, which fingers crossed that will not happen, you need to report it to a member of staff. That member of staff, eventually their report will end up coming back to me or one of the other heads of year or the pastoral team, and then we will take it from there. If you are caught being the bully and caught bullying somebody else, there are severe sanctions and consequences put in place, and we do not tolerate bullying one single bit at the Chalk Hills Academy. We don't see many cases of it, but there are sometimes incidents where it does happen. But those incidents are dealt with properly, they're dealt with quickly, and the sanctions for those children who are the bullies are very, very severe. So I promise you, if it does happen, please do not worry, because we will deal with it and we will make sure it does not happen again. Can I ride my bike to school? Of course you can. Just to the right of our main entrance, we have a bike shed where you can leave your bike, but please make sure it's locked. We are not responsible for anybody's personal belongings, whether that be phones, bikes, or anything like that. And if bikes do go missing, we cannot be held responsible for that happening. Make sure it's locked up, and the chances are it won't get stolen, of course. And please make sure you do wear a helmet to school. Health and safety first at all times. We wouldn't want somebody falling off their bike and having our school nurse having to treat you for a head injury, which could be quite dangerous. So wear that helmet, bring a lock, and of course you can ride your bike to school. Can I use my phone in school? Well, you can use it to and from school. You can use it to text your parent or guardian to say you're on the way to school or you're nearly home, but you cannot use it within the school building. We do not allow the use of phones. Anyone who does use their phone, we take it, we put it behind reception safely, and we cannot let you collect it. We need a parent or guardian to come and collect that phone. So please don't use them in school. Put them on silent, turn them off, put them in your bag, put them in your pocket. Anyone caught using them again, they are confiscated, and your parent or guardian must come and collect them. How many of us will there be there in the class? Well, there's 300 of you in the next academic year, and we're looking at around 10 tutor groups plus another group as well. So there's going to be about 28 to 29 of you per class. What happens if we are late? Well, if you're late to school, that is a detention. However, we do understand there are sometimes circumstances out of your control that we would maybe look and go, right, that's probably not worthy of a detention. Maybe that child has just been late because of somebody else's fault. For example, if a bus breaks down or something like that. However, on the whole, if you're late to school, it is a detention, because as you can imagine, we do get the same old excuses all the time. Oh, my bus was late, this, that. If you are late for a genuine reason, we need to be made aware by a parent or guardian to make sure we can appropriately deal with you and not give you the detention that you might not think you deserve. However, just take it as, if you're late, it's detention, unless of course there are accentuating circumstances. How many lessons in a day? At the Chalk Hills Academy, you will have 5 lessons in a day. And how long are those lessons? They last 1 hour. Will you be in contact with older students? So when you go from lesson to lesson, you move from room to room, older students will also be doing the same sort of thing. So the chances are you may walk past or come in contact with some older students. Some of you might even have brothers and sisters in the older year groups. You may also work with some of the older students. For example, our sixth formers do some reading with our younger students. You might be mentored by a year 10 during Franklin Scholars. But I wouldn't say there is too much contact for those of you who are worried. But for those of you who are a little bit more confident, or for those of you who need some mentoring and confidence boosting, there are opportunities to work with the older students. Will you be in the same class as your friends? There is no guarantee you will or will not be in the same class as your friends. Me and Miss Jabbar have met with all your teachers from your current schools, and we've discussed who you might work well with or who you might not work well with. However, we cannot make any guarantees that you are or are not going to be with your friends. When you come to secondary school, it's all about developing, it's all about making new friends and meeting new people. You might be in a class with your friends, fantastic. If not, you'll still see them at break and lunchtime anyway, so it really isn't the end of the world. Are there many reading opportunities at our school? At Chalk Hills Academy, we are huge on reading and literacy in particular. Now, we do one thing called Accelerated Reader, which I know some of your schools already do. We also do an initiative called Drop Everything and Read. So during one of your lessons, the timer will sound and it will say drop everything and read. And for 10 minutes, you stop doing your work, you get your reading book out, which is part of your essential school equipment, and you will read for 10 minutes. Other things we do involve reading during PL time or tutor time. As a class, you will read a book. And on the whole, there are loads of other opportunities that promote reading and literacy. Now, 2 of our best parts about Chalk Hills Academy are the Homework Club and the Breakfast Club. Now, these won't be running initially when we start in September because of the coronavirus and because of rules about how many people we can have in the building and what times and stuff like that. But when the things do return to slightly more normal, if you like, the Homework Club will run after school between 3 and 5 o'clock to support those of you who perhaps don't have computers at home or need a little bit of help with your homework. In the morning, those of you who need to be dropped off earlier because of your parents' work commitments or things like that, Breakfast Club runs from 7:45 through to 8:30. And again, the breakfast provided is free. You get toast, you get cereal, and a nice friendly environment to start your day off. Those things will be running, we just can't tell you exactly when from. Obviously, you must understand due to the different regulations and guidelines we're put under. But they will be running, and they are fantastic initiatives that we do run.